right, go ahead and join me in your big math book on page 159. We're doing chapter 4, lesson 5 today. Okay, so if we take a look at this problem, it asks us, where's my pen? I always lose it. There it is. Okay, a horse's heart beats 132 times in 3 minutes. And then our question, about how many times does it beat in 1 minute? And that's our question. So that's important. We want to make sure we go back and answer our question. And again, it's about. So whenever you see that word about, you know we're going to be dealing with an estimate. Okay. So let's go ahead and look real quick over here at this question. Will a horse's heart beat more or fewer times than 132 times in 1 minute? Well, if it takes 3 minutes to beat 132 times, in 1 minute it has to be fewer than 132. Fewer than 132 in 1 minute. Okay. And again, yes, I know my handwriting is terrible on this. Hopefully it'll get better over time as I continue to use this electronic pen, but right now it's not too great, but you have the audio as well. So will a horse's heart beat more or fewer than 132 times in 1 minute? It'll beat fewer than 132 times in 1 minute because we know it takes 3 minutes to get up to 132. And then the next question, what operation will you use to solve the problem? Excuse me. So in this case, we need division. We are going to split those 132 heartbeats equally amongst 3 minutes, or at least about 132 heartbeats equally among 3 minutes. And then it says you can use compatible numbers to estimate quotients. And again, a check on our vocabulary. Compatible numbers, all that means is numbers that you can do mental math easily with, meaning numbers that you can do, that you can work with in your head on multiplication, or in this case, division. Estimate, we've talked about that, means it's going to be an approximation, not the exact answer, but a reasonable estimate. And then quotients are just the answers to division problems. So anytime it asks for a quotient, it's just asking for the answer to a division problem. Okay, and then we see here the definition. Compatible numbers are numbers that are easy to compute mentally. Okay, so step 1, find a number close to 132 that divides easily by 3. Use your basic facts. Remember back to yesterday's math lesson, where a lot of you were coming up to me telling me, oh, this was easy today, Mr. Music. And that's because you were dealing with your basic math facts again. You were able to look at a problem like 300 divided by 5 and look at it instead as 30 divided by 5 and then just add your 0. Well, same thing here when you're looking at a number like 132 divided by 3. Well, if we look at the first two numbers, 13, well, 3 doesn't go into 13 nice and evenly, but 13 is very close to 12. And so we can use this basic math fact of 12 divided by 3 and make it, just like we did yesterday, 120 divided by 3. Another reasonable number, because remember we're dealing with an estimate, would be 15, because 13 is only 2 away from 15, so that would be a reasonable estimate, and 3 goes into 15 nice and easily as well. So let's look at step 2. 120 is 12 tens, right? We're looking at the first two numbers there, 12 tens. 12 divided by 3, we did that yesterday, is 4. So 12 tens divided by 3 would be 4 tens. And another way we can write 4 tens is 40. So see how we focused on the first two numbers, we ignored the 0, but then when we came to our final answer, we added the 0 back in at the end of our answer. Okay. Now, 12 would be a better estimate, or 120 for 132 than 150, but I would say both would be reasonable estimates. But again, it depends on what the question is asking. If it wants to know what the best estimate would be, then you would use 12. If it wants just an estimate or a reasonable estimate, I think either answer would be in the realm of reasonable estimates. Why would 120 be a better estimate? Simply because 120 is only 12 away from 132, and 50 is 18 away from 32. So 120 is closer to the exact number that we were dealing with, so it should be a closer estimate to our exact answer if that's what they were asking us to find. So a horse's heart beats about 40 times a minute. And let's check that now. Let's go back and use our reasonableness, right? Check our answer. Well, 132 times in 3 minutes, and this answer says 40 times in 1 minute. Well, if 1 minute passes, that means the horse's heart would beat 40 times. Another minute passes, another 40. Another minute passes, another 40. So now we have 3 minutes passed. And if we add that up, we get to 120 beats in 3 minutes, which is close to our answer, to the number that we were originally dividing. Close to our 132. So yeah, 40 times a minute, that is a reasonable estimate. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget, focus, can-do attitude, initiative, listen carefully. And also don't forget, at any time, if you're confused about something, pause the video, raise your hand, take initiative, ask me.